Yo, real quick, did you hear about the Tesla robot attacking a worker
Mhm.
in Texas?
Mhm. I wasn't sure if it was true. I mean, I saw it circulating social media,
Yeah,
but I really didn't see anything detailed about it. I just saw the headline circulating social media. I mean,
that's true.
I
Let
think
the
it's an
game begin.
I think well if it isn't true, I think it's inevitable for it to happen sooner or later. Because it's pretty early in the game for it to happen. But then again, I guess it's at the beginning you would have all of
All of the problems.
the issues, yeah,
Yeah.
before you work out the kinks.
And this last thing I wanted to talk about real quick, just real quick. I seen Gilly, the kid, put out a question and says, basically, do you really need college? Is college even, what's the word did he use? Hold up.
Is it becoming obsolete? I think.
Hold on. Is college, let me do it again. So the last thing I want to ask you, Gilly the kid had put out this thing saying, is college overrated? He said because, so many people who don't go to college are in position of power and people that's in college are working. But we had this conversation last week
Hmm.
when they said,
C student, A
C
students.
student, A student is usually working for the C student. You know what I'm saying? So,
But I think don't never confuse education with drive and ambition. That's two totally different things.
mhm,
Somebody could have all the education in the world, and it doesn't mean that they have the ingenuity or the drive or the ambition to create. There's nothing more special than the ability to turn a thought into something tangible.
mhm.
And that doesn't come through education. Like that's something that's God given. Why I would say that college, we are getting to a point that college may become overrated. I mean, I was just reading last week that I think about 50% of companies now value experience
Over
over degrees,
degrees, yeah.
where they no longer really asking for degrees. They're more looking for people with background experience in their field. So I do think that we're getting to a point where we're starting to realize that a lot of people, because for me, school has always been about memorization. You read a book, you memorize whatever it is, you take a test and just show what you remember. But a lot of people have the knowledge and don't know how to apply the knowledge. That's wisdom.
So what I would say is, I don't know if school's overrated. I think schools has to change. The way we teach our children has to change. And the world is starting to wake up. And when the world is starting to wake up, people are starting to become more entrepreneurs. People are starting to think outside the box how they make money and their creativity with their creativity. And college is not suited for that, right? I think companies are looking for people that think outside the box and not think of the norm,
School teaches people
right?
how to be workers, man.
Yeah, and that's what it is. So I think the way we approach school so totally to be different. I think school is a business where you're getting people paid and people got to pay tuition or they get money from the city or the states.
And then they spend the rest of their life paying off a goddamn student
Yeah.
loan.
So I would tell you that's why college is messed up. I think kids should really go to more trade schools. If you want to be a doctor, go to college, right? And even that, I don't think you need English or math to be a doctor. I think you need to learn whatever doctors need to learn in that field. You know what I'm saying? I don't think certain things should be you wasting your time to me if you taking a bunch of liberal arts classes and you want to be an electrician. You know what I'm saying? To me, but also the other thing with college is tricky. A lot of kids go to college, and it's the crazy part about our society. We make these kids make these decisions in a lot of other areas as kids, and a lot of kids go to college, say they want to be something, and then realize they don't want to be that, and don't follow up in that profession that they went to school for. So they wind up working in a whole totally different field than they even went to school for because they wasn't sure.
Hmm.
And kids they have the ability to change their minds. So we just teaching our kids wrong. I think we have to change the whole school curriculum and how we look at school and how we look at how the world is being designed and where it's going.
Well, school has never been to benefit the children. School has always been to benefit the economic system. You know,
Mm.
school is just to indoctrinate once again to crank out not only to crank out workers. It's that thing is a whole system, man. You come out in debt. You know what I mean? Now you have to work for the rest of your life. It's pretty much the ball and chain that's put on your leg to make sure that you're sitting there in the factory cranking out what needs to be cranked out for this economic system to continue to make money. You pay taxes just to keep this entire thing going, man. It's one big machine.